Parasitism is a symbiotic relationship where one organism benefits at the expense of the other. Pathogens are often included with this. Both pathogens and parasites harm the host, but pathogens can damage or kill the host, while parasites do not. But they can cause serious damage and death by competition with other parasites. Chestnut blight is caused by a fungus native to China and found in Chinese chestnut, which has some resistance. When brought to the United States as an ornamental tree, the blight escaped and infected Native American chestnuts, a once prized forest tree, bringing it to near extinction. Chestnuts today rarely grow to the size they once did due to this fungus. Plant diseases have been the bane of farmers since the dawn of agriculture and have resulted in famine. Thus far, we have discussed viral and protist plant diseases, but fungi also do their fair share of damage too. Fungi cause disease by causing tissue decay, eventually killing the plant host. Other fungi can cause disease due to growing in plants and producing toxins in the plant. One example is ergo fungus, found in rye and other cereal crops. It doesn't kill the plants, but it does reduce its yield, and it can cause symptoms in humans and animals such as convulsions, hallucinations, gangrene, and loss of milk in cattle. This species produces lysergic acid and is also a precursor ingredient in LSD drugs. Aflatoxins are made by a mold species called Aspergillus that affect nuts and grains. These can lead to food recalls as aflatoxins are highly toxic and can cause cancer. A fungal disease that results in infection and direct damage is called a mycosis. This happens by fungi attacking animals directly, colonizing and destroying tissues, such as ringworm and thrush. Mycotoxicosis is the poisoning caused by consuming food contaminated by fungal toxins, and mycotismus specifically is the consumption of toxins and poisonous mushrooms. As I said earlier, be careful. Even some plain-looking mushrooms can be quite toxic, such as this death cap grown here in North America. Many allergens are related to molds and spores. Fungal diseases are really hard to treat because they are eukaryotes like us, limiting the specific targets that treatments can use. All drugs involved must target the cell wall of the fungus, ergosterol in the plasma membrane, or any metabolic process not done in humans. Most fungal infections are superficial, meaning they occur on the animal's skin. Perhaps the most devastating one happening in the animal kingdom is the chytrid fungus in amphibians caused by Bacteriochytridium dendropatitis. This chytrid infects the skin of tadpoles, and when the frog undergoes metamorphosis to become an adult, the fungus prevents cutaneous respiration, also known as skin breathing, causing the adult amphibian to suffocate. White nose syndrome in bats is caused by Pseudogymnoascus destructans, which grow a white ring around the nose and mouth of bats as they hibernate in the winter. It has resulted in more than 1 million bat deaths in the United States. In humans, superficial mycoses include ringworm, which causes athlete's foot and jock itch. The characteristic appearance is due to an exoenzyme that destroys keratin in skin. Fortunately, most are easily treatable with Lotrimin and other over-the-counter topical drugs. A systemic mycosis spread throughout the body, most commonly known through the respiratory system. One is valley fever, found in southwestern United States, causes symptoms similar to tuberculosis. Histoplasma capsulatum causes histoplasmosis in the lungs, causing a pulmonary infections. Many mycoses are opportunistic pathogens, simply waiting on a weakened immune system from other bacteria and viral infections. This can be caused by a person that has an immune disorder such as AIDS, or in the case of a yeast infection, caused by Candida albicans, by having a change in the microflora. In fact, one side effect of using certain antibiotics is that it destroys normal prokaryotes, allowing this parasitic yeast to take over. Finally, myceticismus occurs when you eat poisonous mushrooms. Color of the mushroom is no indicator and is not advised to eat any wild mushrooms unless you are absolutely sure of what species it is. Beyond disease and food spoilage, humans depend a lot on fungi. Not only are they a food source directly by eating mushrooms, but they're also used to make cheeses, beer, wine, and spirits. Ecologically, fungi are important in controlling animal and plant populations with disease. They also recycle nutrients back into the soil. Agriculturally, mycorrhizae are important for crop production to allow plants to get more nutrients from the soil. Some fungi are even being researched as a biological pesticide, including destroying the invasive emerald ash borer, which has devastated our native ash trees. While wild yeast and bacteria have been used in the fermentation of alcoholic beverages and bread making for centuries, the discovery of Saccharomyces cerevisiae allowed for a safe and reliable microorganism to carry out baking and brewing from the 1850s until today. Fungi are the source of many of our antibiotics, steroids, and fun drugs like psilocybin, and an immunosuppressant drug, cyclosporin, which reduces the risk of rejection during organ transplants. In our next 3 chapters, we will be covering the animal kingdom.